Good morning, cave people. I may or may not have people jumping on today. This is just kind of a test of my new webcam that my hubby got me for Christmas. I have to say I already love it because it's got like a little blue light around it that lights up to let you know on. So yay for that. I did do like a little test. I finally got myself some video editing software so I can edit my videos and take out some of the ums and ahs and weird faces that I have been making. I've been watching all my past videos and realized that I make quite a lot of faces when I do my videos. What's up with that? I don't know. So you can see in the background here, I have Charlotte. This is a pattern by Deidre Use. And I put a link to it on a previous video. She looks so pretty. The lighting in here is really crummy today, but I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking at my computer off to the side here to make sure that I don't look like a weirdo. And it looks pretty good, the lighting. So I'm already extra loving this camera. It makes the light look good, makes me look good. I love it. So just having some coffee. It's the morning. I got up with hubby, made his lunch. She's off to work for half day today. And then we have, you know, the fun life stuff like grocery shopping because I need to eat. Ran out of gluten-free stuff over the holidays there. So this is a Tim Hortons mug. Let's see if you guys can see it. It's got a little beaver. Isn't that cute? And on the inside, I don't want to spill my coffee. I don't know if I'll show up, but on the inside here it says Tim Hortons. But yay, exciting. I'm sure you guys don't really care. So if you pop by, make sure to say hi. Just gonna put my coffee on the floor because my table's way the heck over there, and yeah. So while we're hanging out, I got my December Knit Crate, which I did do a review for. I did reach out to Knit Crate and tell them that I did not get my pin in my Knit Crate, and they are going to send me one. It was an oversight. So they did apologize and said they'll fix it right away. So thank you, Knit Crate. That is very awesome of you. So this, extreme close up. This is some of the yarn that I got. It is gorgeous. And like I said, it's not, because it's 100% wool, it's not super soft. If you use like a wool wash, don't use just regular detergent when you wash wool, by the way. Use like a wool wash because it's generally a little less intense on your fabric. It's more gentle. That's the word I'm looking for. Not enough coffee, brain no function. So anyways, yeah, if you steam block it, which is something I've learned from watching Arne and Carlos videos on YouTube. You can find them, Arne and Carlos, on YouTube. They're awesome. And they teach you all kinds of stuff about wool and fibers and knitting tricks, and they're just a joy to watch. I love them. Watching Arne in the kitchen is fun for me. Anyhow, so I balled it up. This is one hank of the two that I got, and I did make something. It looks so frizzy. Okay, I have to say I kind of love how the camera is focusing for me. Like, I love it. So this is what I made. It is a little basket. Because the lighting's not super great in here, you're not going to probably see, but you can see some of like the dark and the light, like the tonal variations. So I knit this in the round on 8mm circular needles. It has like a little loop. I don't know if it'll show up, but there is a little, oh yeah, there's like a little hole in there. This is exactly what I had left of my tail that I cast on, like my long tail cast on. Probably should have left a longer tail. I'll know better for next time. But like I knit right to the very end of the hank of yarn, and this is what I got. I think I cast on 50 stitches. I was originally trying to do like an oven mitt pattern that I had found online. And I cast on the stitches it called for, and it didn't seem like once it felted that it would be big enough. So I'm like, I'll just add extra stitches. And I added clearly way too many. Like I could have got 2 oven mitts out of that. So then I decided, well, I guess it's just going to be a bowl. And then I'm like, ooh, a bowl. What if I make it a yarn bowl? A yarn bowl made out of yarn. So that's what I did. I felted this in the washing machine on hot. I didn't put any soap or detergent or anything. I threw in a pair of my husband's jeans, and I had 2 silicone dryer balls that I use in the dryer. I threw those in there too, just because they have like little bubbles, nubbies all around the outside of them. And I figured that would be good for agitation. Put it on the casual cycle, I guess. Yeah, so I did it. I ran it through the wash 3 times just because I wanted to get rid of a lot of the stitch definition and felt it more. You can still see some of the stitch definition, and I can still feel it a little bit, but nothing like what it came out with. I did take a picture of what it looked like before I felted it, and I'll post that on my Facebook group. If you go, I'll post a link. I'm going to drop it in the comments because I can do that now. So excuse me while I just type over here. And I could probably have these pasted, but I don't have that ready yet. So baby steps. I have a video now. I have a video camera. I can edit videos. I'm excited. All right. So that is the Facebook group, and it is called Welcome to the Cave. It's the sister group to my business page, Sarah Bear's Creative Cave. And I talk very fast when I get nervous and anxious, so I need to learn how to slow down. So this is one of my finished objects. My little felted boy is so cute. So just for reference, this is my head. I didn't measure it, so I can't tell you exactly, but like it'll hold. This is a super bulky weight. I think there's like 60 yards in this. And it fits in the bowl perfectly. See? It's so cool. I love it. I like love. So anyways, I just kind of knit in the round until I came to near the end of my yarn, and then I just did a Kitchener stitch bind off. So it does have like these little ears, I guess. I don't know. I think it kind of gives it a little bit of character, and I really like it. So it's not technically a round bowl. It's a bowl-shaped bowl. Like I said. Okay, we're just going to reach down here. Sorry. And get some more caffeine. Because clearly I need it today. So that is the one finished object. I'm just going to put it on my computer and hope I don't make a big mess. That is my one finished object. I don't know if some of you remember me showing you a shawl that I have been working on. I started this a while ago. I'm just going to pull it out a bit here so that we can see it. This is a pattern from Watch Barbara Knit on YouTube. Barbara Benson. It's a Barbara Benson pattern. I couldn't remember her last name for a minute. I did go and download the pattern from her Ravelry page just because I wanted the words. I didn't feel like writing it out. I wanted the actual pattern. It's a written pattern. It's very easy. It's a 2-row lace shawl. So there's your setup, which is 2 rows, I think, to set up. And then it's basically 1 row is 6-stitch repeat all the way across. And then the other one is just purling. Basic, simple. I couldn't quite get the hang of it when I first started it. So it's very unique. We'll just say that. It has a lot of character. Hi, Candy Goth Creations. How are you today? So if I'm looking off to the side here, it's because you guys are over here, your words, but you guys are in there. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope Santa was very good to you. You're currently seeing me from my gift from my Santa, which is my husband. So, yay! So yes, this is a Barbara Benson pattern, and you can watch the video tutorial on YouTube, but I downloaded the pattern. It's like $2. $2 US. So like 3 something in Canada, because, you know, the dollar is not a dollar. But I'm going to hold that up. So now you can see how I've got the lines here. And then you can see at the bottom where it's all willy-nilly and wonky-donkey. Up here is where Sarah figured out how it's actually supposed to work. Down here is where Sarah didn't really know what she was doing. So, yeah. But I kind of like how it played out a bit there. It looks kind of fun. Anyways, it's going to be very unique, one of a kind. Not going to find another one like it kind of shawl. And I'm okay with that. And I am making this on, hello, there it is, 3.5 millimeter needles. These are the ones I had got from Knit Picks a while ago. And these are Caspian. So lighting's not super great. Cover my face maybe. Can you see them? There we go. That's a little better. So it's laminated birch, which is colored, and it's got like a navy blue, a turquoisey blue, and a couple of greens in there. Kind of looks like waves. Anyways, so these are awesome, and I don't remember the size of the cable that it's on. It kind of looks like a pouch right now, which I think is super fun. And this is, it's yarn. I think this one's called Chewies, if I remember correctly. I don't know where I put the tag for it. I caked it up. This is from a Knit Crate earlier in the year. I don't remember what month. I can't remember what I'm saying sometimes in the middle of a sentence, so remembering when I got this, good luck with that. That's anxiety brain for you. So anyways, yeah, this is just the first cake, and I'm going to try not to chuck it at the screen. How about we just take that? No, because it's stuck on the thing. Anyway, so I'm not even halfway into like the cake yet. Not even halfway. And it's a fingering weight, and it's got cashmere in it, so it's super soft. But this is a yarn bowl that I got at Michael's before my Michael's closed. I got it on sale. I used like a 55% off coupon or something. I do have another yarn bowl that one of my friends got me, and it is in another yarn bin somewhere, holding yarn for another project. So that really, oopsie daisy, is everything that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to do finished projects. I'm trying to finish projects that I've started, because I'm very bad at finishing projects. I'm really amazing at starting all these amazing projects. Ooh, I want to try that, and I want to try that. So I have way too many whips and not enough FOs. I'm trying to work on that. Not really a resolution, so to speak, but more of a, I need to finish something. Okay, I'm just going to put that off to the side. And so if you guys remember an unboxing of sorts I did earlier, you'll remember my gluten-free cookbook. I have made the chocolate chip cookies out of here, and they were amazing. It's the first time I've ever made cookies in my life with lard, which I thought was very strange, but I'm like, I'm just going to go with it. We're just going to follow the recipe. I did use a flour blend that I had bought at the store because I didn't have the ingredients to make the one they called for in the book. But I have a big, giant grocery list because I'm going to go to the Bulk Barn, which is our bulk store, clearly, Bulk Barn, duh, Sarah. And I'm going to get the ingredients to make that. So that's kind of another thing that I'm working on right now. There's a reason. There's a recipe in here that I wanted to make, that I wanted to try with the flour blend, but I can't remember what it is because I couldn't find my sticky notes to stick a sticky note on it so that I could show you guys. So there's that. But there is some good recipes in there, like there's recipes for white sauce, because I'm gluten-free. So there's recipes for like white sauce and stuff that generally usually has gluten in it or is thickened with flour. I'm gluten-free because I have I'm not a celiac. I don't have celiac disease, but I do have a pretty severe intolerance to gluten. So after doctor's visits and a very unpleasant camera experience, we'll just leave it at that. Yes, we've discovered I have IBS, and this was a few years ago now. This is probably 6 or so years ago. I've discovered this, and they said to like cut back on wheat products or to try eating whole grains. And that didn't really make me feel any better, so I've since cut out. Hi, Carrie. Yes, I'm live. I had to test out my webcam, and what better way to test it out than going live, because there's very little editing required to test that. That's the laziest way I could think of to do it. But I thought it's time I needed to do a live and say hi to everybody and see what everybody's up to. So, yay, we're live. I put on jewelry and I did my hair differently today, just for you guys, so you know. Like, I'm wearing not pajamas. It's all for you, because just before coming on my live video, I went and, made myself look a little bit more presentable, because I was rocking the binge watching uniform, sleep shirt, and the very messy bun hairdo. Snuggled in. Oh, you're knitting a shawl? Me too. I'm knitting a lace shawl because I'm crazy. I wanted to knit a shawl in fingering weight yarn. Because, go big or go home. I'm finding that I've crocheted for over 30 years, and I find that I'm really enjoying the knitting more than the crochet. Is that bad to say that? I feel kind of like that's sacrilegious to crochet. You accidentally wore your PJs all day. I accidentally do that all the time. It's just like, oh, is it 5 o'clock? How did that happen? And oh, I guess I'm not getting dressed now. There's no point. I'm putting my pajamas on in a couple of hours to go to bed. Yeah, I feel ya. I'm knitting my shawl in, I'm pretty sure it's called Chewy's. Pretty sure. It's a knit crate yarn that I got earlier in the year. And it's got cashmere in it. It's so squishy and soft. I love it. And you probably missed when I showed everybody my felted bowl that I made with my December knit crate. Love it. So what are you guys up to? We got big plans. Today is, I guess, the 31st of December. I can actually check now because you guys are not on my phone anymore. I have an actual camera. And I can look stuff up now, which is pretty great. It is, December 31st. New Year's Eve day. My giant plans for New Year's Eve day or New Year's Eve include grocery shopping and trying to stay awake till midnight. That's it. Big plans. I'm going to get some snack food, and we're probably going to binge watch our show on our Android box. We're currently watching Ray Donovan. We're in season 5 of 6 now. It's a pretty good show. If you like, not really mob stuff, but it's kind of like that. I don't know how to describe it. Ray Donovan is an Irishman who works to cover up Hollywood's big secrets, I guess. Game night. Ooh, game night. That's a fun idea. Never thought of that. I tend to not try to make big plans and have parties because generally nobody shows up. So if I'm going to be hanging out by myself, I'd rather not have an army's worth of food that I have to try and put away later. So, but game night, that's a good idea. That sounds like a fun time. We're probably going to end up playing dice. We like to play dice. We play a game called 10,000. I don't know if any of you have heard that. pretty simple. You play with 6 dice, and I like it. Designated Survivor. I binge watched Star Trek from the original series to the very last of anything on Netflix. So like I watched every Star Trek series from beginning to end, like in order. So like from when they came out, the time they started. So the earliest ones I watched until the very end ones. Yeah. I watched every single episode of every single one. And I was so sad when it was all over. Like, what am I going to do now? So, yay, I'm glad there's some people hanging out with me today. I wasn't sure if anybody would even come on because when I was starting this, it said that it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. I was like, oh, that's very early. Oops. But this is when I have the time because I have to meet my hubby at like noonish because he's only working half a day today. And then we're going to go do all our shopping and stuff because tomorrow my sister with her 7 kids and hopefully my 2 are coming up to have a visit because we didn't get to hang out at Christmas. It was just a busy time. So it is the same time here, Carrie. We're in the same time zone. Yay! That's awesome. I've watched all of them. It's pretty awesome. Ruby, shush. Mommy's live. You can't be barking when I'm live. That's very rude. It's garbage day here today, so yeah, he hears the garbage trucks bombing around the streets, and you know, he's one of those little dogs that barks at air. So it is what it is. Time zone sisters. Whoop whoop. I know I'm drinking a lot of my coffee, but it's just caffeine in the morning. I don't people without caffeine. I also don't brain without caffeine, so it's kind of a necessary element in my life. People keep telling me caffeine isn't good for you. You should, stop drinking coffee. I'm like, yeah, if you want to quit breathing, I could stop drinking coffee. So we're just going to stay with the caffeine in the morning. So I'm hoping that the sound is okay because I'm using the speakers on my webcam. 2 cups are needed. Yes, a minimum of 2 cups of coffee. I agree. I'm right there with you, girlfriend. People are still alive because caffeine makes me less stabby. That's totally normal, right? A little tinny. Okay. I'll try and work on that. I don't know if it's just because of the room that I'm in or if it's the actual microphone. I do have an actual microphone I purchased from Amazon a few years ago, but I haven't been able to find it since we moved, so I'm not sure if it kind of got lost in the move or if I just haven't come across it yet because I still haven't unpacked all my office stuff because it's just a lot of stuff and I don't really know how I want to set everything up yet. And so I'm kind of visualizing it in my head before I actually go ahead and do it. I've only been here for a year. So, there's time. So yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out. I didn't do a whole lot of videos around Christmas or after Christmas. On Friday, I did go to the funeral of the friend of mine who passed away, and it was very beautiful. She was a Native lady. I guess Indigenous is the new politically correct. But so they did have like their traditional ceremony, and it was really lovely. And they did respect her wishes and her life and her religion choices, and they did do like a Catholic mass afterwards, and then went back to finish off like their traditional ceremony with like their big feast and sharing their happy memories and stuff. I did not go back to the feast because it was just a bit much for me because I have, well, most of you know because I talked about it in pretty much half my videos, I'd say, is that I have an anxiety disorder and I suffer from depression. It's a social anxiety disorder. So the more public I'm around, the more overwhelming it can be sometimes. And it was just a lot going on that day, a lot of high emotions and stuff like that. So I went to the first ceremony and I went to the mass and then I went home and went to bed because I was exhausted. OCD food unpacking. Oh gosh, yeah, no. No. We did pretty good. We did all the house, and there was 2 boxes in the bedroom that I didn't unpack because it was stuff that we didn't really need right away. But the stuff in my spare room, which is like the spare bedroom / laundry room / craft room / office / storage room, because we have like one floor. We have like the main floor only of this place. There's like a front porch. There's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, the living room, dining room, and the kitchen, and like a teeny little back porch. So everything kind of ended up in there. As I was like, I'm not ready to unpack that yet. So we had enough room to get into the laundry and like the storage cabinet we have in there, but that was pretty much it. Like Sarah had a lot of stuff. But then I just decided I'm tired of it, and I went and we call it swabbing the deck. We swabbed the deck, which is basically we cleaned up. And I didn't downsize my yarn. I did a little bit because there were some that I got inherited, like someone had passed or someone had I was forever ago, I don't remember. Anyways, a friend had donated or given me some yarn, and some of it was a little so I chucked it because it was kind of not pretty, and some of it had like little bug bodies in it. No live bugs, but yeah, like it was all sealed in plastic. So I chucked that. But for the most part, I just kind of consolidated everything into smaller bags and put it on my storage shelves that I bought for the purpose of storing my yarn. So yes, they were very good. She did live on the street. She had the option not to. She did have family that would take her in. She chose to because she was the kind of lady that wanted to take care of people. She'd rather sleep outside on the street in the cold and make sure her friends were okay than to go and spend the night in a warm bed when someone else was out there kind of suffering. She was just that kind of lady. She was a beautiful soul. And so some of her street family had asked the family if they could be pallbearers from where they had their first bit of ceremony to bring her to the hearse to the church. And the family agreed and allowed them to be pallbearers, which was really beautiful. It was, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm going to start crying again, and nobody wants to see the blubbery little tear face. It ain't pretty. I'm not a pretty crier. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, it was really beautiful to see that. It was really hard. Especially watching them, because like they feel the loss so much more maybe than some of us, because they're a huge family and that they lean on each other. And so when one of them is gone, there's that extra support that's gone, right? So manky. I've never heard that. Manky. That's a fun word. What does that mean? Rubber bands. Oh. Ew, yeah, rubber bands don't age well. Yeah. That's awesome. Yucky, icky, blick. Ooh, blick, another word. I'm learning words today. I love it. That's awesome. But yeah, so it was really, like, it was nice. It was sad, obviously. But a lot of, like, I don't really follow religion. I don't believe in organized religion. That's my personal beliefs. I don't have anything against people who do. I have family who's Christian. I have friends who are Catholic. I have friends who are Jewish. I have friends that are, well, not so much anymore, but I had friends in school who were Jehovah's Witnesses. To each their own. And that's just how I live my life, because that's just my beliefs. But if I did have to choose a religion, I would follow the native way of life. Their belief system is really in line with mine. They're very spiritual, and they're very, you know, like, be kind to yourself and respect Mother Earth and that kind of stuff. So it was really nice to see. And they were very adamant about, you know, sure, she's gone. She's no longer in her body, but her spirit, you know, has rejoined her ancestors. It was just super awesome. Yeah. The Carrieisms. I love it. Awesome sauce. Yeah, I create Sarah-isms. More like I create words because I can't remember what an entire word is called. So I stick a couple together and I mash them up and I'm like, oh, that's my new word now. It's a thing. Do that all the time. So I'm not going to stay on here super long, but I did want to test out the camera, see how it works. This way I don't have to edit, but I now have editing software. Yay, I'm excited. And I can add like title sequences and stuff. So I'm like, now I have to come up with like a logo and stuff, which is kind of like overwhelming. I'm like, I don't know. How do you come up with a logo for Sarah Bear's Creative Cave? And if any of you are wondering why it's called that, really long name, it's because, okay, well, my name is Sarah, which most of you already know. And Sarah Bear is my nickname and has been since I was a little baby, because I used to growl apparently as a baby, which seems appropriate if you've ever been around me when I get up in the morning. Still kind of applies. So anyways, my nickname is Sarah Bear. And I had started out just crocheting, and I've since expanded. I do macrame, and I've learned how to knit finally. It only took me 2 decades, so don't give up. It's possible. I macrame. I do bead weaving. I think that's it for now. Oh no, I spin yarn. I dye yarn. Yeah. So I got myself a Turkish drop spindle, and I've been spinning some yarn. See, it's not just me. I'm like, maybe I'm just dumb. I'm a very visual learner. And when I started trying to learn how to knit, it was all reading and books and little pictures, which was like reading. I might as well have been reading Japanese or like Swedish. It made no sense to me. And back then, when I was like, 10 plus years ago, when I was like, YouTube was the thing and people were starting with tutorials before they kind of got into the whole top-down camera thing, looking at your hands so that, oh, this is what my hands should look like. It was like, you're looking at me right now and I'm knitting, and here's how you knit. That's not helpful at all. I was like, well, I don't get that. All right, we're just going to put that aside. I made some really ugly dishcloths, dropped a lot of stitches, and have since learned that I was just holding my needles wrong, first of all, and I was trying to do what they told you to do to hold your yarn and stuff, and I've since learned there's no right way or wrong way to hold your yarn. If it works for you and your product comes out how you want it to look, then you're doing it right. Oh yes, see, I hold my yarn in my left hand. Let's see, there it is. So like I hold, oops, you're on the wrong side, yarn, get over there. Oh good, I'm on the knit side. I'm like, please don't be on the purl side. So like I hold my yarn kind of like this, and then, oops, can't even get the first stitch. Oh, I'm all nerves. All right, so this is kind of how I knit, which I think is probably a mishmash of styles, but it's how I roll. So that's how I knit. But I hold my yarn like in my hand. Get those hands out of the way. I hold it like this. I have the yarn through these fingers and wrapped over the first one. I see a lot of people do like a lot of wrapping, but that can sometimes undo the twist of your yarn when you're working with stuff, and so I don't like that, and it's awkward for me, so I just kind of, that's what I do. I'll just put that over there. So that's what I do. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying now. See, that's part of my anxiety is I don't remember things. I have memory loss issues. And before I started taking medication, it was so bad that I literally thought I was getting early onset Alzheimer's. That's how bad my memory problems were. I can remember what a fork was called sometimes. I still have trouble when I'm talking, and in the middle of a sentence, I'll be like, what was I just saying? In the middle of the sentence that's coming out of my mouth. It's very frustrating. But I've learned to kind of laugh at it because getting upset about it just makes me have more anxiety. So I laugh about it. Consistency is key. That's right. Doing it right. What is right? What's right for you might not work for me. What's right for me might not work for anybody else on the planet. And that's okay. That's what makes us unique individuals, is that we all have our own way of doing things. I once had someone tell me that I was doing it wrong. Well, how I was holding my hook or my yarn while I was crocheting stockings. I was on the city bus on my way to work, and I was trying to make my kids stockings for Christmas. She was not a very pleasant woman. Anyways, there's no wrong way to do it. There is, and you are. I'm like, that's your opinion. Anyways, I put it away, and her daughter told her to stop being rude to complete strangers. So, good job, daughter. I'm not being rude. And like 3 other people said, yeah, you're kind of not being very nice. But I'm a firm believer in you do what works for you, what's comfortable for you. You know, people have limitations. So, a walking weirdo. Yay! Oh, I love it. Right? If your projects are coming out and they're looking like the person's next to you, like your stitches are consistent and everything's right, like stitch wise, then how you're holding your hooks, your needles, your yarn, none of that matters. I mean, if you have 3 fingers on one hand, you're not going to hold it the same as someone who has 5. Doesn't make it wrong how you're holding it. You work with what you got and you do what works for you, and that's okay. Like I said, so it makes us unique individuals. If everyone was the same and everybody did everything the same, the world would be a very boring and predictable place. The fact that everybody does things differently is what makes it unique and interesting and awesome. So that's just my opinion. My 2 cents. Although, I don't know if you guys have pennies still in the US. We don't have pennies in Canada anymore, which I kind of find hilarious because now we have $1 coins and $2 coins. And for a while, they were talking about getting a $5 coin because, yeah, everybody wants to walk around with big pockets full of change. Like, are you kidding me? It's bad enough they made our money plastic. But they got rid of pennies, so now there's no pennies anymore. I mean, like, we still grocery store. Homogenization is boring. Yeah. Although I do like homogenized milk. It's what's in my coffee right now. Where I live, we get store-bought milk. I don't know what you're... everybody says that, and people are like, that's not true. And for the most part, like, I think some of the small ones, like the smaller denominations don't. But if you get a stack full of hundreds and you're smelling, it does. I don't know why. Or maybe that's just the Canadian in us. Maybe you have a little bit of Canadian in you. You're smelling the maple. I don't know why. It's very weird. But yeah, it's very true. I'm just going to put that over there because my coffee is now finished. Yeah. So it is almost 10 o'clock here. Nice. Very nice. Opening the envelope, eh? Nice. Ah, the smell of Canada. Speaking of maple, I need to get me some more maple syrup. I'm out of the good stuff. That's store-bought imitation maple syrup, which is basically color and sugar, just isn't the same as real Canadian maple syrup. Gotta tell you. Sorry. It's cheap and it works and it's sweet, but it ain't the same. All right, well, I should probably be going. I have to, at some point, eat breakfast. I haven't done that yet. I don't know what I'm going to eat because the gluten-free stash in my house is pretty low right now. But I do have some eggs, and I think there might be some ham in the fridge. I sense a Western omelet in my future. Ooh, and I have cheese. And there we go. I just discovered what I'm having for breakfast. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. How can you be out? I don't eat a lot of pancakes, that's why, because gluten-free. And yeah. But I use it a lot in cooking as well, my maple syrup. A lot of my gluten-free cooking and stuff calls for maple syrup as opposed to sugar. And I'm not real good at switching them out yet. Like, I don't have a problem with sugar. But a lot of people who are gluten-free, it's a lifestyle, I guess, and they're also trying to be like low sugar, low carb, and I'm like, no, just call me carby because give me all the bread and all the starch. But I don't look like this for nothing, you know. I like to tell people I have more rolls than a bakery. I jiggle when I giggle, and I'm okay with that. But anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make myself some breakfast, and I promise to be more Canadian and get myself some more maple syrup. Thanks for hanging out with me, Carrie. You rock. And for anybody else who is watching this later on, thanks for watching and hanging out. And if you are watching this later on and you want to stick around and see what other craziness goes on in my life, you can feel free to subscribe if you like my vibe. And and if you see the live chat replay later and you see Carrie Penny commenting a lot, go to her channel and give her a thumbs up and like too, because she's awesome sauce. And I'm so jealous of her craft room. She makes me want to learn how to sew just looking at all that fabric in behind her. Oh my goodness. Hashtag craft goals. All right, I'm signing off. I'm going to eat. I might make myself some more coffee. Probably more likely going to have some tea that I got from Krista over at the Secret Yarnery. Have yourselves a lovely day. And if you're anywhere cold, stay warm. And if you're not okay, it's okay to not be okay. Just don't give up. I will talk to you guys later and stay crafty. How do I end this? You guys are going to laugh at me. I don't know how to end this yet. Oh, and Happy New Year. Haha. Thank you, Carrie, because I forgot. Anxiety brain. Okay, bye. For reals this time. You want? Yes.